We
Okay,
welcome to the show, Anton Lawrence Tavares. How's it going?
I'm doing well. How are you, Chris?
Yeah, very good. So, of course, you're the lead singer of Tavares. How did it all start for you?
Started many, many years ago. We'll put it that way, y'all. Uh, it's been a long road, but I still enjoy being out there and doing my best. This is what I do, and I do it my best.
Yeah, and I mean, you've had so many hits, haven't you? I mean, in 1974, you had a number one R&B hit with Tavares with "She's Gone." What are your memories of that time?
That was a great time. We were a little disappointed that they didn't cross it over from R&B to pop. So Hall and Oates came out with it again and got a hit R&B and pop.
Yeah.
So, but that was I always call it the politics of showbiz. You know, I mean, where do you go if you're number one across the board? You got to bring it over to pop, and they didn't do that. But hey, it's part of a learning process.
Yeah, and it's a great song, and it's one of those songs that'll always live on, isn't it?
That's right. It lives on and on and on. No matter how many times we do it, people just love it. You know?
And of course, I have to talk about Heaven Must Be Missing an Angel. You must have talked about this song so many times. Did you realize how big the song was going to be when you recorded it?
No, we knew that it was a great song, but we didn't know that it was going to, break the charts down. And we were happy about it. It was something very, very nice to know that Freddie Perrin could put something together like that. Him and his partner at the time. So it was wonderful. We really enjoyed it, and all these years we have to continue on doing it. This is the song that everybody waits for.
Is that usually the song you finish with?
That's the song we close with.
Yeah, such a great classic.
Yes, it is. I mean, and we got the other great classic, that we actually do just before Heaven, which is More Than a Woman. That was done with Barry Gibbs is the one that wrote that song for Tavares. And we had a great time doing it with them. They've been great guys, and it's such a shame now that there's only one left, but this is what goes on in life.
Yeah, of course, that's from Saturday Night Fever, isn't it? Such an iconic film.
Exactly. I mean, we have two versions of it on the album, and that was caused by our recording of the song wasn't ready yet when we did it, and they had a producer who wanted to start the movie film from the back end to the front. So what happened was they said, well, we'll put the Bee Gees demo tape in there, their demo part of it in there. And once your guy's done, then we'll put it back in and we'll put it in that spot. But it didn't happen that way. They ended up keeping both of them in, but it was fine. I mean, I don't think we've lost anything by it. We had a great album of the year and we received the Grammy Award.
Yeah, and in 2014, Tavares were inducted into the Music Hall of Fame. What was that moment like? That must have been unreal.
It's always unreal when you look forward to breaking all these goals, and this was something that I've always looked forward to, was to give back to the people who deserve to hear good music.
Yeah, and that's the thing about soul, isn't it? It'll always live on.
Yeah, something, some of it lives on, some of it doesn't. But if you have that kind of song, like a Heaven Must Be Missing an Angel, don't take away the music. It only takes a minute. When you get songs like that, you're going to keep moving on. Tavares had built up a great name, especially in the UK, especially in the Netherlands. We have built up a great rapport with everyone there. And this is what we look forward to, giving people a happy time.
Did you ever hear the Take That version of It Only Takes a Minute? And if you did, what did you think of it?
Uh, it was all right. You know, some people try to cover you on it, and sometimes it doesn't work. Lou Rawls tried to cover us on "She's Gone," and it didn't work.
Mm.
You know, he ended up pulling it off the charts because it wouldn't go nowhere. It was Tavares's that was selling, and so Lou Rawls took it off. But this is how it is sometimes. You get some guys that say, well, we'll take a shot at it. But the song was just out not too long ago and it was already a hit. So how do you think you're going to make it a hit after that? But that's the way show business is, you know. And as the years have gone by, it's not getting any better for showbiz. You know, it's there's no more radio stations like there used to be. There's no more television programs like it used to be, you know, recording studios. I mean, let's face it, Capitol Records, RCA, you hear of all these great names that were up on the top of the list, and you can't even get in those places no more. I don't care what talent you got to be a Bruno Mars. And Bruno's a great entertainer.
Oh yeah, definitely. But the music, like you say, the music industry has changed a lot, hasn't it?
Yes, it has. Much so. You know, kids come up to me and ask me, you know, about doing this for a living. And I tell them, you know, if you have, right now, if you have a lot of money and you have some good sponsors, then you don't have nothing to worry about. But it's very hard getting all of that now. You know, it just doesn't come and they say, well, this guy's going to be a star. It doesn't work that way. We worked 15 and a half years traveling from city to city, pulling our equipment in a U-Haul and the van and the Tavares brothers all in the same van and going from city to city working. This is what we had to do in order to create that name, you know, and we built our name to that point where the minute we came out with our first song, people said, we remember them guys, a great group.
Mm.
This what started it all, you know, but a lot of our people don't realize it comes with work, you know.
A lot of hard work, yeah.
It's not just an overnight thing. You know, it doesn't happen like that anymore.
No, and I guess that was probably the best experience, wasn't it? Doing all
Yes,
those over all those years,
and it
prepared you
was.
for it.
I mean, this is how people get to know you, but we had to put the work in it, you know, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah. So you've now got a solo, well, you've now got a
Yes.
solo career and you've got a new album on the way called Unlikely Hero. What can you tell us about it?
Uh, the CD that I did before this is a great CD called Amazing Ride, but it talks about my life and how I've been on an amazing ride. It's been an amazing ride for me. I let my oldest brother hear the track that's coming out now, which is Unlikely Hero. And he says, every time you come out with another CD, he says it's better and better. He says, this one is phenomenal. And the song, If It's Written in the Stars, is out now, I believe, as a single. It's doing very well. To go in the studio and lay down 11 songs in 14 days is doing something.
Yeah, that's very quick.
People go, how did you do? And my producer, Preston Glass, says, there's not too many people that can do that. He says, you have that gift, you know, listen to a song the night before, go in the studio and lay it down. We actually ended up doing 2 songs in one day.
Wow. Yeah, that's a very quick turnaround. When did you record these songs?
I actually did them in, I want to say February. And we actually didn't put it together until probably May, June, February, March. In March, we started doing the photo shots on it. We had a photo session and we did that, but we didn't release, we just did all the work, me and Preston together, because he would send me the song. While I got the songs, I brought them home and I listened to them, and I would call him and say, I think that we need to take that part out because it just didn't sound right. So we would go in and clean it up. And this is what we do, but it's an amazing thing to be a professional entertainer, as I say, all these years, and know where you're going to go. And I know where I'm going to go. It's like sometimes I get a little mixed up with the words, but that's like every entertainer. But, I have times that I've done one takes. The song Good Night, My Love was a one take. And that was great to go in and do it with the band. And my producer says, okay, we don't have to, let's stop. And the band said, no, man, let that guy sing, and one take. The next day I went in to clean it up. And that's what you call doing good work.
Yeah, and obviously when you recorded with Tavares back then, it's not like it is now, is it? Because back then you probably only had so many takes to do a record, didn't you?
Exactly. But, like I said, but everything has changed now. The format of going into the studio, which we're never going to do that anymore. I mean, we're all of age now, our name will carry through history, and we have accomplished what we needed to accomplish. We go out, we still do shows. Recently, we lost one of my brothers. That was original. My brother Ralph passed away. It doesn't set well with me. He's very well missed. And but like he used to always tell me, life goes on. He says, we all have a day we come and we all have a day we're leaving. And he never wanted to see any of his brothers pass. And that's what he used to tell me all the time. He says, I really don't want to see that. He says, I love all my brothers and I don't want to see any of them pass. And it was almost like he was telling me that he was going. He was going to be the first. And this album is dedicated to my brother Ralph. And a year before my brother Ralph, my son passed away. So they're my unlikely heroes. And that's what that song is all about on the new CD. So when people listen to it, they'll understand.
Yeah, I'm sorry for your loss.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. It's when you work with somebody for 50 some odd years, it's like a marriage. I mean, we're all brothers. We all love each other. And it's hard to let go of something that you love. Now I think about it, I know my brother's safe. And he's looking down at me and say, that's what you got to do. Keep going, and I'll continue on singing as long as the good Lord tells me I can. When he says it's done, then I understand, but I've accomplished a lot.
And I also find with classic soul singers, they've always still got it. You can hear other singers and they haven't necessarily, they lose their voice a bit, don't they? But I think with classic soul singers, they never really lose it.
Yeah, and it's great. I did a duet with a girl named Brenda Lee Edgar. We brought an old song back by the Temptations, It's Growing. We did it in a ballad version. I think the song's a knockout. I have a great producer, Preston Glass, and a great executive producer, David Nathan, who is from the UK.
Oh, great.
Yeah, and David is all behind it. He just thinks that the album is fantastic, and hopefully it goes somewhere and people will love it, because this is what I'm all about. I want to sing about love, happiness, and trying to make people feel good inside. You know, Preston wrote a song when I lost my son, Jason. Jason died in 2002, and Preston wrote a great song for me, and that was in 2012, I believe. It was the song became a song that helped me. You know, I would go on stage. It was a form of therapy to sing that song, and I still sing it today, but I sing it at home when I'm feeling down and out about my brothers. Same thing with my brother Ralph. I've been putting on all the songs that we sang, that we had 12 albums. So when I miss my brother Ralph, I put any one of those albums on, and I can pick out his voice out of all of them, you know, and it gives me comfort.
Yeah. And that song you mentioned, is it a very uplifting song?
No, it's called, gotta think of it. Gee, it'll come to me. I'll think
That's all right. It's from the new album though, isn't it?
It's not on this new album. No,
Oh.
this was on the album. Can't
The
Get
previous.
Back. Yeah, it was on the first album I did with Preston. Can't Knock Me Down. That's the album it's on. Well, I've had 3 great albums with Preston. The first one was with a gentleman named Saul Davis. It was, the name of the album was called Jealousy. And I worked my way up. And when I got to Preston, we've done 3 solo CDs now. So I actually have 4 that I have done. And I believe that each one I did got better and better. And this is what I'm all about. That's why I am considered that magnetivity voice of the group Tavares. You know, my name sticks out there because they go, "Why are you called Chubby?" I weighed almost 11 pounds when I was born. So that's the way I got the name Chubby from. And
yeah, I was going to ask you actually, because you're not very chubby.
No, I'm not. No, but you know something that's great? I keep my weight down. I look good on stage. I love wearing bling. So this is my whole thing, is going on stage and looking good for my audience.
Do you wear like sparkly suits?
Yes,
yeah,
I still do.
great.
I just think that that's the way of life. You know, I mean, people don't want to see you just going out there with jeans on, and I want to glitter. I want people to look and say, God, that guy is dressed. And this is what it's all about. I mean, I believe in everything I did in the 70s. You know, we got labeled as a disco group. We are not just a disco group. We are a good R&B group, all right? Rhythm and blues. And this, we can sing from rhythm and blues to pop. We can go anywhere. I sing songs from when I was just a little boy. I started singing when I was 7 years old. And I'm in the 70s now. Well, it's
Yeah.
a lot of years. And I'm still doing what I do best.
Who were some of the artists that you admired when you was a youngster yourself?
I usually, when I do interviews, I usually wear my number one man was Marvin Gaye. Marvin Gaye was way ahead of himself in life. I mean, he did that What's Going On album. That whole album was way ahead of everything that's going on right now. You know, he is my mentor. I love groups. I think that right now, Bruno Mars is probably number 1 to me. I just love what he's doing. Young, talented man who takes songs from the 70s and 80s and builds them to what's going on now. And I mean, the guy, you can't get away from, he's a fantastic artist. You know? And as long as he keeps that head on his shoulder like he's doing, I wish him well, because he is great.
Yeah, I love that song, Leave the Door Open.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the other group that I love is the Whispers. I love the Whispers. Scotty and his brother are both my friends, and we've been working with them a lot throughout the years. So this is what I like doing, and hopefully I can continue on. Like, nobody knows that, but the man upstairs.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll keep going, well, as long as you can. And how about Tavares and yourself? Have you got any gigs planned, or?
Well, we just started up again after this long lull of COVID-19. I mean, we hadn't worked for 2 years. You know, everything was shut down, or they canceled the dates, or they moved them. I mean, we're doing dates now that we're making up from 2020. You know, I mean, it's sad that, and I believe it's the gig workers, that's what they usually call us, are the ones that suffer, because we can't put in that time to work. Nobody wants to go to shows. People are afraid that they're going to catch the COVID and die. I mean, all of this stuff goes on. You know, have I been sick? Yes. You know, but I have overcome it. And I'm doing well, and we've been back working again. Even without my brother Ralph, we have another person that sings in the group, but he's not a Tavares, but he sings great. So we keep him with us to help out with the backgrounds. But his name is John Kelly, if anybody wants to know. But we enjoy doing what we do. I got a solo show coming up on June 30th. And this will be like, I do them periodically, but this one here I'm looking forward to doing because I am of Cape Verdean descent. My grandparents all came from the Cape Verdean Islands, which is off the coast of West Africa. And we have our own singing, we have our own religion, and it's like number one in my heart that I always work for my people, you know, and this is going to be the first time they're having a recognition week for the Cape Verdeans in New Bedford, Massachusetts. And they asked me if I would love to come and participate in that, and I agreed. So on the 30th of June, my album will be released on the 24th of June. So the album will be out. And I'm looking forward to a lot of people saying, great album again.
Yeah, perfect timing.
Yes. Everything is, you know, comes with timing.
So what do you think is the biggest difference in a recording studio now from back in the day?
Well, a lot of things are different. A lot of stuff is done electronically. In the day, if you messed up, you would have to go back and start all over again. Now they just take you and they hit you with a, even if you don't know it, they tell you, sing this part. If it comes out right, they keep it. If it doesn't, they look for you to do one better. And then they'll kick that one out and put this one in. This, you know, this all about how you wheel and deal. And my producer is probably one of the best. I mean, he had that bird song with Kenny G was a #1 tune across the nation. And Preston Glass is he's a man to be reckoned with.
Great. Well, we're looking forward to hearing the album. And back to Tavares, give me your favorite Tavares tune, or one of your favorites. I know this is the impossible question, but
I have so many of them, but for me to sit down and say, what is the favorite song that Tavares did? I would have to go to a song called The Love I Never Had. I think it was a great, great ballad. But everybody has their own opinion about what they do. I just thought that one and Goodnight, My Love, but Goodnight, My Love was done by Jesse Belvin. And I just did it over again, but I did it my way. You know, I didn't do it the way he did it. I wanted to do it and let the people know that Goodnight, My Love. You know, to me, it was a great song, but everyone has their own ways. With other acts, I like a song that I used to do called "In the Eyes of Love." Was a great ballad. I'm a ballad man. I love to sing ballads. I think they mean something to people, and when people latch on to them, they hold on to them for life.
Yeah,
you can get an
definitely.
up tempo and dance. I mean, and go crazy and have a good time, but that song can easily be forgotten. But ballads usually always hold on.
Yeah. Well, thanks a lot for joining us, Chubby. It's been great speaking with you.
Well, I love speaking with you, Chris, and hopefully we'll get to do it again when this next album comes out and you wish to have me on. I'll gladly be there for you.
That's great. Thanks a lot, Chubby.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.